Hello, thank you for joining us for 2 Minutes for Glory. Death is so hard. It's hard to say goodbye to people. There was a grieving family, grieving sister. And the story is remarkable because it shows the anger of dealing with death and also shows the promise of the resurrection. In John chapter 11, verse 22, Jesus had found out that Lazarus had died, and he was going to Lazarus' sister Martha. In verse 21, Lord, Martha said to Jesus, if you'd been here, my brother would not have died. But I know that even now God will give you whatever you ask. Jesus said to her, your brother will rise again. Martha answered, I know he will rise again in the resurrection at the last day. Jesus said to her, I am the resurrection and the life. He who believes in me will live even though he dies. And whoever lives and believes in me will never die. Do you believe this? Yes, Lord, she told him. I believe that you are the Christ, the Son of God, who has come into the world. Martha asked Jesus, Lord, if you'd have been here, my brother would not have died. How many of us have been praying for someone to get better and they didn't get better? Praying for them to be healed and they weren't healed in the way we wanted. That's what Martha approached Jesus for, confronted Jesus with. Jesus, if you'd have been here, my brother would not have died. Jesus told her, your brother will rise again. She says, I know he will rise again in the resurrection at the last day. You see, in that time period, there were people who didn't believe in the resurrection. There were people that believed in God, but that believed when you died, you ceased to exist. And of course, we have people that don't believe in the resurrection today. They believe that you'll cease to exist. And the power of Jesus Christ, the power of the Messiah is this promise that he will take our hand in death and we can rise again to be alive. He told Martha, I am the resurrection and the life. He who believes in me will live even though he dies, and whoever lives and believes in me will never die. Do you believe this? Yes, Lord, she told him, I believe that you are the Christ, the Son of the God who has come into the world. Now, she responded with the gospel confirmation that the Christ wasn't Jesus' surname. It was this promise that people waited generation after generation after generation for the chosen one, the Christ, the Messiah, to come. She says, I know you are the Christ. I believe that you are the Christ, the Son of God who has come into the world. She confirmed that she thought he was the gospel, the good news, the Messiah. And to show he has power over death. And that's the big thing. Jesus has power over death, power over our death in this world. Jesus raised her brother. In verse 38, Jesus, once more deeply moved, came to the tomb. It was a cave with stone laid across the entrance. Take away the stone, he said. But Lord, said Martha, the sister of the dead man, by this time there is a bad odor, for he has been there 4 days. And Jesus said, did I not tell you that if you believed, you would see the glory of God? So they took away the stone. Then Jesus looked up and said, Father, I thank you that you have heard me. I know that you always hear me, but I said this for the benefit of the people standing here, that they may believe that you sent me. When he had said this, Jesus called in a loud voice, Lazarus, come forth. The dead man came out, his hands and feet wrapped with strips of linen and a cloth around his face. Lazarus was alive again. All of us deal with death. Death is not something uncommon in the world. But the thing about the unique thing about death is, although it's not uncommon, although it's the most common thing in the world, it is completely jarring when it happens to you. And we like Martha, we're saying that Jesus, if you'd have been here, my brother would not have died, which is the implication that we were without Jesus. When you pray for someone to get better and they don't get better physically, and you're saying, if you'd have been here. And Jesus is the resurrection. I'm the resurrection and the life, he told Martha. That's what we have to hold on to. I am the resurrection and the life. He who believes in me will live even though he dies. The promise is that we won't all be raised like Lazarus, given new life again. But this life is just a vapor that appears and vanishes away. It's so short. And the promise of Jesus Christ is that he is the resurrection and the life, that in him there is life after death. And that one day, Jesus, roll away the stone. They said, it's been 4 days. He's going to stink. Roll it away anyway. Lazarus, come forth. Lazarus comes walk. And Jesus hands Lazarus to Martha. There will be a day for believers. For people who, like Martha said, I believe that you're the Christ, the Son of God, who has come into the world. The people who believe that gospel, that Jesus is the Christ, there will be a day when God returns to us, our loved ones, that Jesus today is the resurrection and the life, just like he was then. That today those who die in Christ will live even though they die. I know sometimes that's not comforting, but I take joy in the day when we see our loved ones again. Thank you for joining us for Minutes for Glory. Have a good day and God bless. Bye-bye.